take time, focus and it'll be fine, girl.
Hello, my name is Stuart Ford from Stuart Ford Fitness and Martial Arts Instruction. Today's date is Sunday the 31st of May 2020, and this is the second week of my Coach in the Box live intro series, which are going out as a broadcast on a Zoom meeting. So if you've just tuned in, this is Tai Chi in a box. And Tai Chi is a traditional Chinese martial art, but it's also great for many health benefits, including balance, flexibility, stability, energy flow, stress levels, coordination, to name but a few. Okay, so it's good for many things, and so we're in the second week. So we're going to see if we've got any participants here this week. I think we've got at least one. So we'll go and let them in, and then we will get some music put on for you. Okay, so see you in a sec. Okay, we're back again. We have Tessa with us here today, so one participant today. And like I say, we're on the Tai Chi, so we're going to get started. We've got some music playing for you there via my microwave sending application. And right, we're going to get started. So first of all, let's just place our feet together. We can place our right fist into our left palm, and then push forwards for our respects. And then come down. And then we're just going to relax and stand in this posture, sometimes called Wu Ji, or just a relaxed starting posture. Just clear our minds and close your eyes. We're going to step out into Jamjong posture. Jamjong basically means standing like a tree or a pole, post. And we're sitting down slightly, and then we're going to raise our hands into the typical holding the bowl posture. I'll just show you from the side here again. We've got a slight tilt forwards from the back. Slight soften of the knees. You can go as low as you like, but the lower you go, the harder it's going to be for you. The head's up and the chin's tucked in. From the front. Toes are facing forwards. The fingers are facing each other. You can stand like this for a few minutes. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the thighs, relaxing the back. And keeping a little bit inflated, so it's not a deflated, relaxed posture. Can go on longer with that. We're just going to bring our feet back together, bring our palms back to our navel. Just palm over palm, and pressed against your navel below your belly button. Just brings our awareness to that area. Still keeping our posture nice and tall, head still pulled up as if we're hanging from a cord from the crown of our head. The shoulders are relaxed. Okay, we're going to bring the palms together now, and then rubbing the palms together. And then placing the hands over the eyes and face. And then we're going to massage around the face. And then move up and over the head. Messing your hair up. Down the back of your head and neck, and then come together again. And then we're going to place the hands to the lower back, the kidney areas. Just turn to show you there. And then we're going to massage around there. Okay, and together again. Brings the awareness back to the palms. We can use them like a tool. Then to the top of the head, and we're going to just stroke down the head and face. Coming off of the chin. Down the back of the head and neck. And then cross over behind the ear. Down the side. The outer arm, and then coming off the ring finger, and change. Now, coming off the ring finger. Okay. So nice and relaxed now, so we're going to step out to shoulder width. And we're going to start loosening. So we've got 3 main loosening exercises we did, which we did on the last session. You watched that. So we're going to start just by floating the arms up. Shoulders are nice and relaxed, so they're just hanging. We're going to sit down a little bit, turn, and go off to one side. Come back up to the center again. Sit down, turn, and off to the other side. Back up to the center. Down and turn. Up to the center. Down and turn. Standing up, sinking and turning. And then just start speeding that movement up so it becomes more natural and relaxed. And then eventually I'm not using my shoulder muscles. My arms just swing because I turn my body, rise and fall. And we're loosening the joints, we're loosening the tendons, the ligaments, the muscles. Every time we drop, the arms kind of drop and there's a little pull apart. Don't forget there's a little softener of the knees each time, but we're trying to keep the hips facing forwards and getting the spine to do the rotating. Okay, we're going to change. So number 2, come up, drop down, and back up again. It's probably the easiest of them, but it shows nicely that sinking. I do this from the side. So it's like we're being kicked in the back of the knees a little bit, and we suddenly collapse, but then stop ourselves. In that same moment, the arms are jarring downwards, swinging back, and coming back up. Everything just starts to loosen, swing, and it's moving with the body, so it's being dictated by the body what the limbs do, as opposed to your limbs starting the movement and dictating the motion. Okay, and then number 3, straight legs now, and we're just going to rotate the hips and let the arms swing forwards, nice and baggy. It's probably the hardest one people find. It's getting the arms to swing forwards as opposed to swinging around your body, which is the harder thing here, I think. Make sure the hips are stretching. Okay, I think there's plenty of those. So the body should feel nice and relaxed now, the limbs oiled, maybe a little bit buzzy as well. You feel the blood been going down into the arms. There's a bit of vibration going on through the arms, tingly, which is nice. Right, so the next thing we're going to do then is we're going to look at our stepping techniques, which we was doing last time. So we have a quick recap of those. And just to remind you, of course, because we're in a small area, this is we're doing the 24 Tai Chi form, which is the simplified Tai Chi, probably the smallest set that you can do. But it's being adapted so we can do this in a smaller space. So we're not really stepping forwards 2 paces. Any pace we go forwards, we tend to go back again. So it keeps us on the spot, which is nice if you've got limited room like we've got here. Right, so our stepping technique, I'll show you this from the side to start. So we're going to do hip width apart with the feet, toes facing forwards. We turn out the right toes 45 degrees and then step forwards. So then we have about 60% weight on the back leg, 40% on the front leg. So from the back there, feet hip width apart, toes turn out, the right toe that is, 45 degrees. The weight goes to that leg, pick up the left leg, and then pluck that through to the heel first, rolling down to the toes, and then 60% on the back, 40% on the front. And I have a gap still between both legs, about a fist or 2 width apart. So now this is looking at how to step linear So to move forwards, or you can use it to move backwards, but we're not going to go forwards, we're going to go change on the spot. So we're basically changing the legs here. So we're going to sit back to the right leg, turn out the left toes, bring them back, place them down 45 degrees, and then place the other foot forwards, the same thing, heel toe. Sit back, turn out to the right, foot back, down and forwards. Sit back, turn out the toes, back, down and forwards. Sit back, turn out the toes, back, down and forwards. So you could do this as slowly as you like. Depends really how used to doing the movement you are. Okay, so we're just doing a few of those. And we're doing this, if you watch from the side again, in a back weighted posture. Okay? So this is in a back weighted posture. Just means I've got more weight to the back. So what we can do next is you can do the same thing, but you can do it in bow stance or a forward weighted posture. Then all that would mean is we have a further distance to travel back, so really it's just sort of a nicer movement. Back, turn out the toes, bring them back, step forwards, and then push that weight to the front. Back, turn out the toes, bring it back, step forwards, and push the weight forwards. Just getting used to these stances and movements. Getting the weight all onto one leg so you can balance to that leg, change, and then turn. Or change the legs or whatever it is that you're going to do. Okay, so there's our stepping forwards techniques. And then what we're going to do is turning. So we've got, first of all, a 90-degree turn. So if I face you from the front here, and I started with my feet hip width, and I stepped out with the left foot, just to show you positioning here, push forwards into my bow stance, then I'm going to turn 90 degrees through the front face of my body, bring the foot in slightly, heel to toe. I'm not really stepping forwards. Okay, then place the foot down, pivot on the ball of the back foot, so the back foot becomes 45 degrees, and then that sets our stance back up again. Then if I wanted to turn again, I go through the front face, back to face forwards again, pivot, bring the foot in slightly, down, and then turn out the toes. And what I'll do is I'll gradually transition kind of in a diagonal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to do this from the back right hand corner of the room, and I'm going to transverse across to the left diagonal. So with the feet together here, forwards a bit. Right, so I'm going to turn myself now to face the left corner of the room. Then I'm going to turn out my right toes, place the left foot forwards, push into bow stance. And I'm just kind of off to the left hand side of my diagonal from the corner of the room. Then I'm going to pivot to the right, bring the foot in slightly, place down, and turn the back foot. Pivot to the left, bring the foot in slightly, place down, turn the back foot. Pivot, in, down, adjust the back foot. And it's trying to keep that gap again between the two heels from side to side, so a fist or 2 width apart. If that's crossing over or closing down, then you're missing something in the stepping technique. So pivot to the left, bring the foot in a little bit, down, and turn. And of course we've got that control here on placing the foot rather than falling onto it. Change. Pivot, make sure all the weight's on that right leg, bring in slightly, down, and turn. Pivot, bring in slightly, down, and turn. Can't go too far, I'll end up out in my garden up back there. Okay, so that's I'm not going to spend too long on them. This is recapping really from the last week's session. So there's the 90-degree turn, so that's just kind of within 90 degrees, a little bit more depending on your flexibility. You could go further, but if we want to turn 180 degrees plus, then we use a different stepping technique. So I'm going to face to the left hand wall here, and again I've set myself up in bow stance with the left leg forwards, back foot turned at 45 degrees, front left toes facing straight forwards. So I'm going to turn around, so sit back to the right leg, turn in the left toes, sit to the left foot, turn around, and then bring the foot around you. So it's again that gap from side to side, down, and then turn the back toes. I'm just going to bring myself further away to start, because you'll find yourself gradually moving backwards as you do this. Okay, so again, our right leg's forwards at the moment, sit back to the left, turn the toes in, pivot, adjust the foot around so you've got this nice gap again as I'm facing my new direction. Place the toes down and just adjust the back foot on the ball of the foot. Sit back, turn in, pivot, around, down and in. Also called the swing step sometimes. And all these are really doing is teaching you how to turn, how to move, the same as we do in everyday life. From walking towards something to collect something here, now with the left foot forward, think, how do I turn around here? That's how you do the turn. Yeah, maybe. It's like an educated version of it. So it just makes what you do naturally better, more fluid. Okay, so these are three main stepping techniques, so you can practice those as much as you can. Try to get your legs doing what they should be doing in the first place, and the limbs can follow easier. So then what we do is we can do our starting of the form, which is the lifting hands, or we can also just call it starting off, lifting water, various names. And we can use it as a standalone Qigong exercise, which is a health exercise. We can start with the feet together if you like, and then you can step out. You notice when I do the stepping out as well, it's not a case of falling to the left foot. I sort of feel the way here with a kind of antenna with the foot. Think, yeah, that's where I want to place it, and then I'll bring the weight across. So it's sort of done in a controlled manner. And then from here, you can turn the palms back, and we can start off just by lifting the hands up, shoulder height, extend the fingers, sinking down and pressing towards the floor. And then we can go back up again, breathing in, extending the fingers at the shoulder height and sinking down and pressing to the floor. And from the side, starting, extending the fingers, sinking down, pressing to the floor. Starting, breathing in, sinking down, and pressing to the floor. I've seen this before used as an explanation of what sort of feeling we can do. If you grab the front of your trousers and you try to pull your arms forwards, but they can't sort of move, and just hold that for a little bit. So you're trying to lift up the arms, but they're not going anywhere. And then just let go of the trousers, and then continue that lifting feeling. You feel like it's got a nice lightness in the arms. You can extend the fingers away, and then sinking down. As we sink down, we're bending forwards at the waist, the head's still up, nice and tall, and we're pressing towards the floor, and at the same time the head is lifting up and away from the hands. So we're kind of stretching, it's called stretching the bow in the spine, stretching the bow up and down at the same time. It's two different directions of pressure. And then we can relax that, breathing in, and then as we stand up, this movement starts first of all from the legs here. So it starts from the feet, travels up through the body, up through the arms, and then kind of waves up and finishes projecting out through the fingertips. So you're almost feeling the air, and sometimes I think it's called lifting water, because you can imagine yourself in a pool or something, and you've got that resistance of the water against the arms and the hands up and down as you move and through the body. And that feeling and awareness of the air around you helps to keep that control and the feeling of energy travelling to the limb or the contact point that it may be, if he was talking about from a martial arts point of view against an opponent. So we're knowing where we're sending our power. Okay, and when we start with the 24, we start from the straight leg posture, which is, I find it often harder to do, but certainly when I first started doing it. But you have that feeling coming up, so you could just start from the seated posture just to do these relaxed, just to do these as a health exercise. And then that feeling of coming from the legs first is more kind of apparent because we power up from the feet, from the legs, and then out through the hands, the arms, and down, pushing down and forwards as you press down, up. And it's also good to speak about this probably at this point as well. A lot of people just think of Tai Chi as being soft, but as you're practicing here, you're not being soft all the way through. There's an element of strength and power, and there's an element of relaxation, and that's really what we're looking at is yin and yang. So maybe yang being the hard and the contraction and the tense, and yin being the softer part of that, if you like to look at it like that. So we don't have one extreme or the other. It's not completely soft. Tai Chi should be in the middle. Okay, so a bit of each. And as we move that with it, that doesn't mean that it's a bit of each all the way through, but here we start soft, and then that builds into strength until we get to this level here, where I'm contracting maybe 60% plus, thinking about not just tensing the arms, but that feeling of going forwards as much as I can without folding forwards. Okay, and then that gradually changes again from this yang feeling back into yin as I soften, so I can then dynamically move, and then I sink down, and then again it grows into a strong force. So I finish here, and then start breathing in again. I can soften. So our movement can be nice and soft. The end of the movement can have a punch and an energy in it, which is what we're looking for. Okay, so it's just a sidetracking there, but important part. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll go back to the form. So we'll start with the lifting hand, which is the opening part of the form there, and then we'll go to where we, I think, left off last week, which was just with parting the horse's mane, and then we'll go through the rest of those, which we'll do those from side to side, and maybe look at finishing into the next posture, which is white crane spreads its wings. So we start, and follow me facing away here. So our posture is nice and tall, and then we're going to step out shoulder width. We're staying stood up, we're not really sinking down here. The knees are softened, palms turn to face back, and then we start off from this position, lifting, and then sinking down into our press. And then we change to hold the ball onto the right side, so the foot comes in, hold the ball on the right. That's the lower palm facing up, the upper palm facing down. Turn 135 degrees. And so it's not 90, it's another 45, another quarter turn on top of that. The knees and toes facing the same direction, we talked about last week, it's important. Place the weight down, open the arms, and the back foot needs to pivot on the ball of the foot, just like we were showing in our turns previously, our stepping techniques, so that we then have this 45 degrees back foot and then front foot straight. My left palm is facing up, my right palm is facing down. Okay, just run through that again. So we're from here, stepping out, palms turn back, starting off, sinking down. Hold the ball to the right, step out 135 degrees, split the arms apart, left arm forwards, left leg forwards, left palm up, right palm turning facing downwards, the wrist is cocked and the back foot pivots. To go to the next side, sit back and turn. So I'm bringing the weight back to my right leg here. Then draw the foot back. If you went too far forwards, you'll know it, because then you'll really struggle coming back. Bring the left foot back, place that one down 45 degrees also, so you have the 90 degrees in the feet here. Then change to hold the ball on the left side. And so the right foot here is just tiptoeing down, doesn't have to, but here you just tiptoe down to keep that balance. Step out to the other diagonal here. So we had 135 we turned here from our front face. Then we're going to go 90 degrees from there to the other diagonal. Place the weight down to the foot, the right foot, and split apart with the arms. Front palm up, lower palm down. So this is how we'd be moving forwards here as we're doing this. We're doing this on the spot, like I said, so that we can fit into the space. So it's on the spot movements. Turn back, step back, hold the ball on the right, step out 90 degrees, and split apart. So we're going to the other diagonal again. And you could just carry on doing these movements. Left side, step out and open. Back. Right side, step out, open. Okay, but we finish on this side, so we do 3 of them in the form. 1, 2, 3 brings us back to this side, and that brings us to the next posture, which is white crane spreads its wings. So we're going to rock the weight forwards, and then we're going to come back again. So here generally I would step forwards with this one halfway through and then go forwards a little bit more, but here I'm going to rock the weight forwards and come back to my original posture. Draw the arms back to the right, so it's just swinging back. Bring the left foot in, turn to face the front face again, which is 90 degrees from what is our original front face, and then kick out with the toes pointed, right hand up, palm facing towards your body or towards your left side. The left palm is cocked, wrist is cocked, so the palm's facing the floor. Okay, so we'll go again from the start, just to go fluidly through that as you're stepping out to the left, starting off, sinking down, hold the ball on the right side, step out 135 degrees, open, turn back, bring the foot back, hold the ball on the left side, step out 90 degrees to the right, open, turn back, step back, hold the ball on the right, step out 90 degrees to the left, open, rock the weight forwards, rock the weight back, arms drift to the right, and then white crane spreads its wings, left palm facing the floor, right palm facing you. Okay, so you can go to here and we can try our next movement. So next movement is probably the most complicated movement in the form, but we can make a start with it here. So we're turning to the left and softening the elbow here, okay, like an inner block. If you've done the martial arts, that might have that here. So feeling to the inside of the forearm here. Then turn to the right, swinging out the left arm, and the right palm turns up and comes back towards your waist. Draw back in your left foot and take the arms out to the side and diagonal. My right palm's facing up, my left palm's facing down. Step out again to that sort of 135-degree diagonal from the front face, like we did with the previous, with parting the horse's mane. But now we're going to go forwards with our eyes and our push. So we're looking straight to our front here. And so basically what this means is, although we go out to this diagonal, I'm going this way, but I've got a much wider stance than I started with from left to right. So wide side stance. And then I'm pushing forwards. The other hand's finishing next to the knee here. So we can then go from white crane spreads its wings, and we'll do that same again here. So white crane spreads its wings, turn left, turn right, draw the foot back, arms go out to the side, step out to the diagonal, palm down, and press. Okay, and what I can do is I can show you this from the front face as well. So if I do, I'll start this from parting the horse's mane to the left here. So this would have been off to this diagonal over here. You see this from the front face. So this is if you're facing me from, that's my front to start. This is if you're facing me from the left wall here. So going that way. Okay, so I'm coming towards you like this. Rock back, turning out the waist to the left. Turn, hold the ball on the left. Right diagonal. Open. Back and turn to the right. Step back. Left diagonal, out, open. So there's my third parting the horse's mane. Rock forwards, rock back, take the arms across, face the front, kick forwards, palm facing in, right palm that is, left palm facing down. Then rush knee, our first one, turn left. There's got 6 movements in the first one here. First brush knee, turn right, swing the arm across, bring the foot in, arms out to the side, step out wide again, should have been over to this diagonal here, left palm down, right palm's next to ear, push forwards, left palm then facing the floor, right palm's facing forwards. Okay, and a wider stance from side to side than I originally started with. Okay, I think that's about us today. So obviously I hope you enjoyed it. This is, like I said earlier, the second week of these Coach in the Box series. So if you're interested in joining, we've got 2 more weeks of them. If you're interested in joining them, and you can contact me via YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, which you will be, or my email address, and you've got my website address, which is stuartfordfmai.co.uk, and you'll see that on the screen there, and then you can contact me via that website and indeed find out anything else about the other services that I provide. And you can come along and you can do these live on Zoom, in a Zoom meeting over the next 2 weeks. And then you can get a chance to ask any questions or interact if you like. But otherwise you'll be watching this as a pre-recorded message. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it, and see you for the next session. Bye for now.
It's gonna take time, focus, and it'll be fine, girl.
Trying to figure out how I'ma get out this place.